Sunday musings. I'm going to talk today about pretty privileges, which actually really should be called pretty shit. Not pretty privilege, but pretty shit. Why am I holding this Minnie Mouse? I'm just trying to sort out the mess in this room, and I used to work at Disney and I have got so many of these soft toys, and I saved them all and gave them to my daughters. I've got loads. Oh, look, Mickey, Minnie. I got another Minnie here. I've got Ariel. I've got Dumbo. Oh my goodness, I'm not going to pull them all out, but yeah, I think they've got to go because my girls are now in their 20s. Maybe I should keep them for grandchildren one day. What do you think? It'd be a shame, wouldn't it, to throw them all out? I've got loads. When I worked at Disney, somebody in our house worked in merchandise, and they would bring back all these toys, and I'd just say yes please and keep them. So I've got loads and loads and loads of them. Anyway, I digress. It's a bit bright in here, isn't it? Oh, what did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, pretty privileges and pretty shit. And it's not talked about enough, I don't think. Because when I was a teacher, I did suffer a lot from being bullied, particularly by other women. Now this week it got me thinking, because the car had to go into the garage, its light's not working, and the chap at the local garage always squeezes me in. And is it because he fancies me? Maybe, I don't know. And whenever I need the plumber, I've had to have the plumber around because we're having a lot of work done on this house, if you haven't noticed already. And the underfloor heating in the evening, I couldn't get it to work properly, and texted him, and he came round. So again, does he fancy me? I don't know. Pretty privilege? Maybe, I don't know. And yeah, it just got me thinking about school. And when I was there, I've got loads of scenarios about being bullied throughout my whole life because of the way I think. It's because the way I look, and I get attention, and other ladies don't like it. And I've focused today on working in the PE department in my last school, and it was predominantly ladies, and I just knew that I was being treated differently to any of the other PE teachers in the department. And lots of things that happened to me, I think, was because of the way I look, and that I got a lot of attention at school, particularly from dads, other male teachers, the head teacher, and they didn't like it. So I'm going to give you a few scenarios where I think I was bullied and I was picked on. So I was a primary school teacher and a PE teacher. I trained as a PE teacher and then worked in the primary sector of education, but I was always kept in, part of my timetable was always kept in the PE department, which was great. I loved it, absolutely loved it. I love my sport and I love teaching PE. And stop saying I'm going to give you a few examples of me being bullied and not treated very well, I think because of the way I look. I love netball, and we had a lot of netball and hockey fixtures in the winter because it was a traditional prep school, and that's what we did in the winter. Boys did football, rugby, girls did netball and hockey. And out of all the sports that I taught, I really didn't like hockey, and I still really don't much like hockey to this day. But netball I really love netball, and my daughters have played netball, and my eldest got to county standard, and I just loved the sport. So fixtures going on, and you had to umpire fixtures in the department, and that's normal. So I would be looking at the fixture plan for the term, and I would be put on umpiring lots of hockey. Now they knew that I wasn't a hockey fan because I always made this evident that I wasn't into my hockey. I loved gymnastics, I loved athletics, all the other sports we taught, but hockey was the one that I didn't like. And they'd put me on lots and lots of hockey fixtures and keep all the netball fixtures for themselves. And I just knew they did that because they knew that I didn't like hockey. So I'd be out on the hockey pitch, umpiring hockey, which I really didn't enjoy. And I just knew that they did it on purpose. I just knew it. Now, as a PE teacher, you would have to get in a minibus and take fixtures away. So you had home or away, and we had fixtures that were away. So you had a minibus and you took your team away. And the minibuses were allocated to staff. So when it came to an afternoon and you knew you had a fixture, you went to get your minibus and your name was down next to a minibus registration. And I would quite often turn up and I would be allocated the shittest bus. There was a Peugeot bus that nobody liked driving because it was tinny, crap, cheap, and more often than not, my name was next to the shitty, tinny minibus. And I knew it, I just knew it. They did it on purpose. I know they did because they didn't like me, because I think the way that I look and the attention that I drew. So that was another example in the department where I think I was bullied because of the way that I look. Now we had fixtures that were near and fixtures that were far. So if you had an away fixture, you had to get in your bus and obviously take your team away on an away fixture. And another thing I noticed was if you were on a fixture that was just down the road at another school, you'd be back by 5 o'clock after 2 o'clock kickoff. You'd had teas and then you'd driven the children back again by 5. But I would be quite often sent on fixtures that were miles and miles away. So a good hour, sometimes 2 hours away. So we wouldn't get back till 7 o'clock in the evening. And it became very unfair because I was put on fixtures that were further afield. So the other girls in the department would get back and get home, and I would be sent on fixtures that were bloody miles away, and I'd get back really late. So that's another example of, I think, that I was picked on in the department because of the way that I look. They just picked on me. Another example, at Christmas time, there was one particular girl in the department, and she always gave me sharp answers, and she didn't, go into conversation with me. It was always one word answers or sharp answers and quite moody. I knew she didn't like me for, I'd done nothing wrong for her not to like me. And I asked her about the Christmas table and the department's Christmas table, to come and sit on the Christmas table, because I just, PE staff are usually quite good laugh, and I love my primary staff, but for the Christmas do, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to go and sit with the PE staff this time. And she said to me, oh no, the table's full. You won't be able to sit on our table. You'll have to go and sit somewhere else. And I found out that it wasn't full at all. The Christmas table wasn't full, but she took it upon herself to tell me that the Christmas table was full because she just wanted to bully me. Didn't want me on the table grabbing attention. She didn't want that. And that's another example of not pretty privilege, is it? It's pretty shit. And two more things. I was given PE kit that was too small or too big. And that's what they said, that's all that they had. So we had branded kit, and I would be given kit that was old kit, or it was too big or too small. And then I would complain and say, this doesn't fit me. And they said, oh, well, we haven't got budget to get any more PE outfits, any more PE branded clothes, so you'll just have to make do with that. So I'd have tracksuit that was too big for me, and I'd have to put a belt around it to keep trousers up. And again, they all had lovely outfits that all fitted them, all beautifully branded, and I had the last season old baggy stuff. And again, because I'm a nice person, I didn't really kick up. I just thought, oh well, I'm only up in the PE department for 2 afternoons a week, and not that bothered, to be honest. But thinking back on it now, that was really nasty. It was bitchy and not very nice. And it always comes from women. It doesn't come from men, it comes from women. And the last one, if I was ever in a minibus with a particular girl that was in the department that didn't like me, the one that was one-word answers, she'd get in the minibus and she'd put the music up, really beaty music up really loudly, and I'd say to her, I can't, that's really off-putting, can you turn it down a bit? And she'd say, well, children like it, so that's why I do it, because the children like it. And she'd have her feet up on the ledge and her iPhone plugged in and the music up really, really loud. And she knew that I didn't like that. She knew that I didn't like that. So yeah, pretty shit, isn't it, actually? So this pretty privilege usually works because men like the way you look, but women don't. So women therefore are bitchy to you or bully you, and it's pretty shit because in life you deal with men and women. So it's a real unbalance, and it's not fair. It's not fair. Why should we be penalised for the way that we look? It's not a fair society that this happens, and it's not talked enough about, and I know it happens all the time, and it's not just me. And I just wanted to share this with me. It's not a sad story, it's just I'm very happy now because I surround myself with people that don't bully me and aren't horrible to me. And I'm fortunate enough that I can do that now. And I have left teaching because it is a toxic place, especially if you are pretty and you draw attention. Other women don't like it. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that this week because I did have a little bit of a pretty privilege, I think, with the plumber coming over and the garage squeezing my car in, because they're men and men like pretty ladies. And yeah, and if you're watching this and you're a guy, you're probably only watching this. Well, I hope not. I hope you're not just watching this because of the way I look. I hope you're watching this because what I say is interesting-ish. So I hope it's not just because of the way that I look. I hope it is a bit more deep than that. So yeah, Sunday musings. As you can see, my house needs a lot of decorating. And it's not just in here, it's out here as well. It's everywhere. I have got an awful lot of painting to do everywhere in all my rooms. I've had a very big renovation going on, but it's all good. So have a lovely week and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye for now.